Because I don't think anyone can argue Caitlin Clark has changed the game. She changed it in college and in the WNBA. We know she broke all those records in college. But what was it about Caitlin that has just garnered so much attention and changed things the way that she has?
You know, Rihanna,
Caitlin Clark has undeniably transformed the landscape of basketball, first in college and now in the WNBA. Her impact isn't just measured in records, but surges in ratings, fan engagement, and cultural relevance. She rewrote history books in college and became the center of the movement in pro ball.
And it seems like every story or excerpt or interview that Christine does turns up the heat a little bit more on what Caitlin Clark's first year in the WNBA looked like and the lack of preparation from the league level to.
But what is making headlines is Christine Brennan's best-selling unauthorized biography about Clark, an explosive document that has league staffers, pundits, and players sweating from every corner of the WNBA. Instead of being a celebration of Caitlin's historic rookie year, the book reads like a courtroom indictment against the league's top brass. It tears the lid off the chaos, the sabotage, and the complete lack of preparation that greeted Clark's arrival. Christine Brennan isn't just some blogger looking for clicks. She's a decorated journalist who's covered 21 Olympic Games, written 7 books, and now just dropped a bombshell that's got everyone in women's basketball ducking for cover. When a journalist of Brennan's stature chooses to write an unauthorized biography, it's not fluff, it's fireworks.
the league is full of drama, absolute drama. Now, we knew when Christine Brennan, the journalist who wrote the upcoming Caitlin Clark book, the stories emerging from this book is going to light the league.
This is the kind of journalistic deep dive that doesn't sugarcoat. She's got unnamed league sources, behind-the-scenes chaos, and jaw-dropping accounts of what really happened when Clark went pro. And the WNBA, they were caught flat-footed. Brennan revealed that the day after Caitlin Clark declared for the draft, she called a top league official to ask if they understood the magnitude of what was coming. That official's response? This should be the biggest thing since Maya Moore. Maya Moore. Respectfully, Maya Moore never even sniffed the kind of gravitational pull Caitlin Clark has on ticket sales, viewership, or cultural buzz. Brennan was stunned. And that quote, that misguided, underwhelming, wildly inaccurate quote, sets the tone for everything the WNBA got wrong. Clark wasn't just another good player coming into the league. She was a once-in-a-generation phenom who shattered every college basketball viewership record and brought a tidal wave of attention the WNBA had never seen. And the league
On fire. I mean, seriously. We got an altercation between Brennan and Dejanay Carrington that doesn't even have to do with the eye gouge, which we know Dejanay flipped her wig off.
They treated it like business as usual. The book outlines how logistically, operationally, and emotionally unprepared the WNBA was for Caitlin Clark. There was no strategic blueprint, no marketing infrastructure, no contingency plans. Brennan's reporting shows that the league underestimated not just Clark's skill, but her global draw and economic potential. While other players struggled to fill half-empty gyms, Caitlin's games trigger venue upgrades. The Mystics moved a game from their 4,200-seat arena to the 20,000-seat Capital One arena. The Aces shifted a matchup to the T-Mobile Arena. Why? Because Clark was coming to town. And when she's out with injury, ticket prices plummet 70% within 48 hours. That's not anecdotal, that's market data. But the league's failure wasn't just logistical, it was philosophical. Brennan paints a portrait of a league stuck in denial, clinging to outdated models, hoping the Clark phenomenon would quietly integrate rather than explode. Instead, it combusted. And the veterans, some embraced it, others resented it.
And spoke with somebody from the W who she did not name, and she asked that person, do you know how big this is going to be? And that person responded, yeah, this should be the biggest thing since Maya Moore. Now, Maya Moore is an all-time great player. Maya Moore has never sniffed
What followed were dirty plays, jealous comments, and outright hostility. The Kennedy Carter cheap shot, the Marina Mabrey foul, all of it reflected a cultural friction between the old guard and the new face of the league. Clark didn't respond with drama. She just kept playing, and fans kept coming. Brennan's book details how Clark's mere presence has international pull. Fans fly from Hawaii, Mexico, and overseas just to watch her play. In Las Vegas, a family on vacation made seeing Clark live the centerpiece of their trip. Little girls wear her jersey. Adult fans cry when she takes the court. This is bigger than basketball. This is iconography. And here's the kicker. Clark didn't even give Brennan a sit-down interview. She didn't cooperate with the book. That's how magnetic her story is. It sells itself. Readers are starving for truth, for context, for an unfiltered look at the most scrutinized athlete in women's basketball history.
Clark is way more important to the WNBA than Tiger Woods was to men's golf, even though he was huge. And to then see this negativity, like why? And what should have been done? I looked seriously at the leadership of the WNBA. And how could you not be prepared for this moment?
Brennan provides it, and the league can't control it. Scryer, a division of Simon Schuster, saw the writing on the wall. They didn't just publish Brennan's work, they elevated it. Full-scale promotion, national distribution. A global marketing push that the WNBA could only dream of pulling off for one of their players. Brennan embedded herself with the Indiana Fever for 6 weeks. She spoke to league execs, teammates, fans, and insiders. What she documented wasn't just a rookie season, it was a cultural shift happening in real time. Her reporting reveals the brutal contrast between Clark's value and her treatment. The league uses her in promos, milks her name for ratings, but when it comes to protecting her physically on the court, crickets. Brennan says a league official admitted that most WNBA players have zero idea.
People are doing a really good job promoting it for her. I mean, for the folks who are against the Brennan notion or the promotion, they surely are.
Caitlin Clark's rise has not only ignited a revolution in women's basketball, but has also exposed the deep cracks in the WNBA's foundation. Christine Brennan's book isn't merely a retelling of Clark's rookie season. It's a mirror held up to the league, reflecting every failure in preparation, strategy, and leadership. What started as a simple biography has turned into a cultural reckoning. Perhaps the most shocking detail from Brennan's reporting is just how alone Clark has been in carrying this burden. The league wanted her spotlight, her fans, her dollars, but failed to offer even basic protections. The eye pokes, flagrant fouls, and under-the-radar cheap shots aren't just isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a league unwilling to enforce its own rules when the biggest target is also its biggest star. Sophie Cunningham stepping up as Clark's unofficial enforcer is telling. When a teammate must take on the role of security detail because referees swallow their whistles, something's broken.
This person said, well, this is probably the biggest thing that happened in the WNBA since Maya Moore. And Maya Moore is a great basketball player and deserved to have the kind of attention that Caitlin Clark is getting, but never got it. The notion that the WNBA wasn't ready for this, couldn't believe.
And Clark? She never whines, never flops, never retaliates. She just gets up and hits another logo 3, reinforcing her toughness and putting even more pressure on the league to act. But instead of acting, league officials are retreating into silence. When asked about officiating, they dodge. When confronted with Clark's treatment, they spin the conversation. And now, with Brennan's book on every bestseller list, that silence is deafening. It's not just American fans paying attention, it's the world. Brennan documents international fans flying thousands of miles just to see Clark play. From Hawaii to Mexico City, these fans wear Clark's jersey, chant her name, and fill arenas that were once barren. This isn't just star power, it's global appeal. Clark's ability to draw crowds, sell merchandise, and spike ratings puts her in a category that transcends women's basketball. She's not just a phenom, she's a brand. And the WNBA somehow still doesn't know what to do with that.
Emotions, so many of the issues and the conversations we've had about the jealousy and the concern that we see from some of the players, the cheap shot hits, Kennedy Carter last year and Marina Mabry this year, Dana. It just was the sense that this...
Brennan's book dives into the economic absurdity of Clark's situation. Despite generating hundreds of millions in revenue, Clark earns a rookie salary of $76,000, pocket change compared to her $40 million endorsement portfolio. Nike alone is reportedly paying her over $28 million annually. Add in Gatorade, Wilson, and others, and Clark is financially independent of the WNBA. She doesn't need them, they need her. That's the power dynamic driving the league's current crisis. Brennan reveals that multiple league sources are concerned about Clark's potential to walk. With her popularity and resources, she could start her own league and take millions of fans with her. One source even speculated that Nike could back a Nike Clark League within a few years. With TV contracts, sponsors, and venues lined up, such a move could demolish the WNBA's current standing. Think that sounds far-fetched? Brennan doesn't. She outlines how corporate partners have already begun shifting focus from the WNBA brand to the Caitlin Clark brand. That shift threatens the league's entire business model. Every decision, every marketing campaign, every televised game now hinges on one question. Is Clark playing? If she's healthy, ticket sales soar. If she's out, the market crashes. That level of dependency is dangerous, not just for the league's image, but for its survival.
Y'all, this is Reese on the court. This is GT. Look, I just met a young fan right here who traveled over 852 miles to CCC. We gonna make sure you get this box checked off, all right? So y'all stay locked in, all right? Let's get it. I love you.
Brennan's reporting shows how even the most routine injury to Clark creates panic. One sprained ankle becomes a media frenzy. One missed game sends ratings into free fall. When your entire brand is built on one player, you're always one misstep away from collapse. The book meticulously documents how Clark's influence has reshaped everything from broadcast schedules to travel itineraries. Her presence affects hotel bookings, security details, and merchandising strategies. She's not just a player, she's a movement. But here's the twist. Clark didn't ask for any of this. She didn't chase the spotlight. She didn't beg for media attention. She earned it. Through performance, resilience, and poise, she became the face of a league that never saw her coming. Brennan's book asks a hard question. Why wasn't the WNBA ready? The signs were there. Clark's games at Iowa routinely sold out arenas. Her matchups broke college basketball viewership records. The Big Ten saw it. ESPN saw it. Fans saw it. But the WNBA? They hoped she'd just fit in. Instead, she took over. And that takeover wasn't always welcomed.
We're going on vacation to Las Vegas, and we are going to go see Caitlin Clark at the Indiana Fever against the Aces.
No way! We already have tickets. Really?
Brennan's chapters on player jealousy are eye-opening. She details private conversations with league veterans who expressed resentment, envy, and disbelief at Clark's sudden ascension. Some questioned her credentials. Others downplayed her stats, but none could argue with the results. Clark filled arenas, they didn't. Brennan highlights how these dynamics have created a divide, not just on the court, but in public perception. Social media exploded with debates over Clark's role in the league.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about Dejanay Carrington because she's angry. Dejanay's mad. That's right, she's mad about Christine Brennan's book and some of the stories that are emerging from said book. Now, what's interesting